Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Hopefully, my microphone is working so that way you don't have to hear the buzzing sound of the computer beneath me or anything going on behind me. So, if you are new here, which I am sure you are because this is a brand new YouTube channel, you have no idea what the Unity Matrix is, what the Red Diamond Association is, what even our mission is. So that's why I'm here today, because it is really hard to get behind something if you don't even know what's going on. So, what's up? What's up? My name is Michaela Gaffney. I am the founder of the Red Diamond Association and the creator of the initiatory system, the Unity Matrix. And for those of you that are like, initiatory system, is that a gang? What is that? It is a series of domains that puts you through different experiences so that way you can interpret what is happening inside of you at a much faster, much higher rate. So that way you can not only process things quicker, but so you actually hold yourself in a leadership, autonomous, sovereign role without collapsing. Very early on, after having created this system, I realized that this thing is meant to go everywhere. And what I mean by that is when I began creating the Red Diamond Association, I have a heart of service and really for underserved individuals in society. I am a big guy for movements and impact. And what I noticed in the environment where I live is that there is so much more neglect, abuse, exploitation, corrosive types of dynamics than a lot of the other places that I've lived. And my own upbringing was something that also really drove this, not the upbringing itself, but the healing behind my upbringing. For those of you that don't know, I had kind of an interesting childhood, and those experiences caused me a lot of mental health issues and a lot of chaos internally. And I learned how to basically put my psyche back together so that way I could be able to impact people. I did not know that this is how I would be led to impact people, but I really do believe in servitude of a higher being, of maybe a source or God. And with that, this is how this entire thing was created. So, with that being said, I have a very, very big mission in mind in the way that this is utilized to impact people. First and foremost, the largest aspect is the individual. Society cannot change unless the individuals within it do. That is something that I think that we tend to overlook, especially within nonprofits. This is not a nonprofit, by the way, not yet. Especially within nonprofits, within society, within trying to solve problems, is I love this because we have leaders that are able to see objectively, but what we are forgetting is that we have to impact one individual at a time, truly, in order to have that collective growth. Impacting big, large groups and impacting specific areas from afar is not actually creating the ripple effect that we need. What we need is leaders within every single demographic, every single area to come together and start impacting where they are, not where they think that they should be. Without creating infrastructure inside of individuals, it is going to be impossible to make the societal change that we are truly looking for. In order to grow, we have to have individuals within the society that are ready to make those movements. But the fact is, we don't have enough individuals that are ready to stand inside of this power. And the reason why we don't have individuals that are ready to stand inside of this power is because we are still fighting for our autonomy. We are still working through trauma loops. We are still working through so many issues that we don't see an end to. The reality is this: every single business owner, every single nonprofit owner, rather it's Fortune 500, a huge company, or someone that has 3 people, the reality is this: every single business owner has a personal life, has personal life issues, and every single one of those things ends up impacting the business, impacting the organization, whether you think that it does or not. And When we realize that just because you can show up professional, just because you can show up charismatic, just because you think that you're leading a team does not mean that you are leading yourself to the highest capacity that you could. And those very areas that you haven't confronted yet, rather it's in your business, rather it's in your job, rather it's you're a teacher, whatever role, tell yourself, ask yourself, what is the role that I fill in society? And maybe you're like, I don't have one. Well, this is your opportunity to start creating one, right? So when we realize that everything that we have going on in our personal life is directly showing up within our professional lives, what ends up happening is certain things begin to slip. And that is what I'm seeing across the board with the diagnostic that I've created, is every individual that has taken this diagnostic that is inside of some sort of industry, their personal lives end up showing exactly their weaknesses inside of their businesses, inside of their programs. So what does this look like on an individual coaching level? It looks like the exact same diagnostic process, but it is built for individual circumstances and looking at the areas of the 9 domains that you are looking to improve or are doing great at. Most of the time we stay focused on the things that we're doing really, really great at and not the areas of improvement, and we have to confront those areas in order to make change. So how does this work on a societal level? How does this work within all of the issues that we have in society, whether that be violence, sex trafficking, politics? The reality is this: psychology solves all of those issues within our society. If we have a better understanding of the way that our emotions run our decisions, and we can learn how to utilize our emotions as data instead of something that we act on immediately, we then have a better chance to changing society at large. So how exactly does this work? Consciousness. Consciousness is the way that this works. If we have 750,000 people, according to David Hawkins, in this, or if we have one person, if we have one person in the state of unconditional love or authentic consciousness, it counteracts 750,000 other people that do not. When we have more of those individuals counteracting the people that do not, what ends up happening is a ripple effect. And it happens the exact same way as somebody starting a gym journey. Every single time, imagine, look inside of your work environments, the person that is into fitness, the person that's on their routine is super disciplined, everyone looks at that person for advice, for structure, for anything about fitness, nutrition. Can you show me the way on how to get there? The exact same thing happens within consciousness. Because when a person exists inside of unconditional love, they exist within their values, they exist within their morality, and they are truly there to serve people. What ends up happening is other people begin also serving, and they aren't even aware of how it began impacting them. I want you to imagine in this moment the most influential person you can think of right off of the top of your head. The person that is in your everyday group, the person that shows up every single day, ready to serve, ready to help, ready to be there for other people. How do they impact you? How do they make you feel? And oftentimes, this person is the person that makes you confront the things inside of you that you don't want to look at. That's how confrontation works. That's how consciousness works. And that's the ripple effect that I'm here to create inside of society. Because the old way of society is no longer working. It is crumbling before our very eyes. We are needing to develop more autonomy. We are needing to develop more personal power. We are needing to develop more agency inside of our personal lives. Most of society is currently, right now, working inside of old trauma loops that they have no idea where they came from. Right now in society, we have so much violence, so much humiliation, so much power dynamics. And those people think that they're thriving. The people that are operating inside of these things, they think that they're doing great. And the reality is you aren't actually a leader and you aren't actually doing anything that is substantial, that is actually powerful, if you aren't willing to bring other people into that with you. True power lies within something that cannot be shook. True power lies within something that cannot be altered. True power lies within that unconditional state of meeting your soul and moving with that of wanting everyone else to also succeed alongside of you. True power is something that does not create power dynamics within their workplaces. True power looks like giving that power back to other people, and that's what I'm here to do. So, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed therapist, I am not a licensed psychologist, and I don't want to be. I cannot make impact sitting behind a desk for 8 years learning academics of psychology and not actually how to impact people. If you are interested about some of my background, I have my LinkedIn profile listed below. And before anyone gets their panties in a twist about coaches or mentors being or not being licensed professionals, here's something that I want to bring into awareness. Every single thing that we do happens within our mind. Everything that exists happens within our mind, rather it be spirituality, rather it be through coaching, rather it be through mentoring. Rather you are a fitness coach or rather you are a teacher of some sort, everything that you do will impact somebody's mental health, regardless if you are aware of it or not. This is something that I want to make us very clear on. And this is a moral stance that I have a very high regard to, and that is responsibility. It is our responsibility as a society to be aware. It is our responsibility as individuals to create awareness on what mental health actually looks like. It is our responsibility as individuals to reduce violence. It is our responsibility as individuals to reduce crime. It is our responsibility as individuals to understand our purpose. So if somebody has not yet understood what it is about themselves yet, it has nothing to do with me and having or not having specific credentials that are good to society. What I have learned is that every single time people do things according to what society asks, they are pulling themselves further and further away from their true purpose. They are pulling themselves away from things that are actually remarkable. I am not against therapists. I am not against psychologists. There are equal damages to be done within the psychology realm, just as there are within the coaching realm. Here's what I will say. I know the responsibility that I have and will uphold inside of my organization, inside of my business. I understand the direction that I'm going, and I do not need permission to be able to do what I do. So, with that being said, I wanted to clarify that completely for transparency, but also to create a little bit of retrospect here of when we understand the things that we understand, it is our responsibility and our duties to act upon those things in accordance with divine will, and that is what I am doing. Have any questions about what is going on inside of my mentorship program, inside of the coaching program, inside of the Unity Matrix, absolutely feel free to DM me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions. So, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining my brand new YouTube community. And if you came from last YouTube communities or previous ones, know that this channel is going to be very different. The energy is going to be different. The power behind it, the mission, the drive, the verbatim, it is all going to be very, very different than what you've seen from me in the past. And really, I think the difference is the direction. So if you are interested in the Unity Matrix, what that program looks like, how you can utilize the Unity Matrix to impact yourself or impact your community, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Right now, we are not currently hiring. After program completion, there is room for relationship director roles. However, you must complete the program before that role opens up. With that being said, I cannot wait to hear from you, and definitely comment any questions that you have below. I am out of here, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for tuning in. like, subscribe, do all of the things. We need 50 subscribers so I can post lives. This was intended to be a live video because it is not only significantly easier, but I can make more impact on live videos than I can posting it right here because I have the ability to be one-on-one with people through that process. So with that being said, check out all of the links in the description. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Bye.